4 cities. The all DLC, no mod, Silver Shores with 421. 2 new DLCs out there, the Bridges and Harbors DLC and also the train stations. I've already checked them out. We got them installed. We're going to be incorporating them. Well, we're going to be putting them in Silver Shores. We got a lot of work to do. Population right now, 1,975. Cash on hand, only 5,100. In fact, I'm going to take this, get this up to speed here. Just let this cash out for a while. Just let our city kind of grow. Silver Shores is really coming along. We have a lot of work to do. First thing we got to do is add another wind turbine in. We're running out of power over here. Also, open up more land up here to the north. We've got a lot of space up there. We're going to move in the new heavy industry area. We want to put that north of town. This is all going to be more of our high density area here. We're also going to start farming. We've got a big swath of farm area up there. Transportation. We're going to be doing probably some biofuel buses and the ferries. Yep, we're going to include the ferries. At least 2 or 3 ferries here in town. And we'll start the section with the city government. There's a lot of things to build when it comes to the city government section. And let's go add another wind turbine. There we go. And we're going to need some more people. We're still short some workers over here. We're also going to get into the park life. Gonna build a small park, not too much. Just something to get the tourism started here in the city of Silver Shores. And also expand the fishing. Trying to level up to 4,000 here at Silver Shores. Alright, we've got our first death here at Silver Shores. And what that means is we're going to have to construct a cemetery until we can get into the crematoriums. We will have to do several cemeteries. They're not that expensive, 8,000. But we're at that sort of critical spot in the game where cash is tight and there's a lot to build. Okay, we filled in this residential area. I'd definitely like to get a pathway in here so that people can get back and forth to the high school. Let's put one of those in. I don't even know that it needs to be that elaborate. Something real basic. I don't know. Do we want to do trees? Let's just do a dirt path for now. Go up here. And then I like to go freeform. Get a little crazy. Popping in here on these corners is real convenient. That way you don't mess up any of the zoning. Here we go. And I think we can zone out a couple more homes over here. Remember, I always do select. Something small there, and then let's do something a little bigger. Pops up in these little 2 square wide homes. Remember, this is sort of the industrial housing area for the forestry industry. They're not all going to be big homes. So along with the DLCs, I picked up the 2 new radio stations here. Got some real nice beats going. Sunny Breeze. There's also this one that's over here, the Railhawk, which is a little more moody. we'll get into that one too. Alright. Couple well, just one abandoned building, but we really need to get that cemetery in here. Alright, well, we finally have enough money for a cemetery. And you have to be careful with the cemeteries. Once you get them in there, you can't move them unless you empty them, which we won't get into that right now. But we want to find a place here in the city where we can put this where it's not going to be in the way and that we don't need to move it for a while. And let's see, where would that be? I hate to put it all the way out in the industrial area. Don't know that I want it right here because that's where our future growth is going to be, but we could drop it right here. Go for that. Okay. Alright, that's going to take care of the dead bodies that are lying around the city. And next up, we're going to need to get some cash together to get our transportation network going. We're also, let's take a look at the park area. What do I want to do up here with this? I'm thinking just the basic city park. Park here, but you really need a lot more land and a bigger population for that one. Zoo, same thing. It could be very expensive. The nature reserve. Now we're going to be doing that, but that's going over there. So where I was thinking is sort of right in here. This, if it doesn't work, we can just break it and start over. Let's see. Gonna make ourselves a little park area here. Nothing too crazy. Okay. And it's just like the industry areas or the zoning areas, park areas. You just make a park area. And small gate or the large one with the parking lot. What's that, $5 grand? And there's a small park main gate. And you can do tickets too, so you can make a little cash. Yeah, see the green garden, because we're going to grow some weed. Alright. I think I'm going to set this on high speed because we're gonna need to collect some more cash to build some of this stuff. Also need to take a look about where we can add a few more houses. Some more heavy industry. Let's zone for some of that. So we could use a little more industry. Let's go right there. Retail. Let's add some of that in over here. Not too much. Else we're going to end up having to add some more power. We should probably take a look at that. That's our biggest variable. And we should probably start using these. They're more expensive, but the advanced wind turbine, they go out in the water, but it generates a lot more energy. A lot more. Ooh, we're close. Look at that. Consuming 42 megawatts, producing only 47. That is so close. We could start seeing some brownout areas. And we are going to need another recycling center soon. We'll probably put that over here at the other end of town, where the fishing industry is going to expand soon, in our forestry. back over here and see what cost for those gates. Okay, that's 2,500. This one's 5,000. Alright, let's take a look at where this might go. Space already occupied. Let's see. Well, where do we want to put it? Here. Guess it's gotta be, can't be curved. Let's get over by the school here, go by this path. Let's go right there. Alright, so we got the plaza, the info booth, the restroom, and the cafe. And the first part is the plaza. That's an important thing to figure out where it's going to go. So that'll probably be the main aspect of the park for the most part. Let's see here. Okay. And I like these paths with decorations. Those are kind of cool. And I generally go freeform on these. Kind of work your way around a little bit. I just like to do a path all the way around. It just makes it nice and clean. Sometimes I have to switch over to the straight. Can be a little squirrely on you, that's for sure. Generally, if you extend these out a little bit, makes it a little easier to come across. Oh yeah. Let's hold this up. Alright. It's easiest if you just start with the straight going across. And you might have to go a little further. The elevation differences making that a little tricky. And then here, pull this up. And then connect like that. Okay. Very nice. For now. I'm gonna add a few more things later. It's just meant to be a very small park. Make bigger ones, but for right now, it's a good use of this space. There's lots of different things you can add. have is a cafe. And just need a good spot to drop it in here somewhere. There, that's good. And you're gonna need a restroom. This right here, I'm gonna pull this over. Well, that's inconvenient. Let's try freeform. Well, there we go. That'll work. Now, all I'm trying to do here is give myself a little bit of space because I want to add in some of these food stalls. And turn them so they face the right way. Like this. There we go. And there's a couple other ones we can do. They're kind of fun. Just get it right next to it. There. People are already in here. I haven't set a ticket price or anything. This is probably going to be a free park, especially because we have it connected over here. Leave it open. Usually you do a little fencing around a park like this, but I think we'll skip that. Maybe we'll just do a few hedges. Doing that pretty good, huh? Not too bad. Now this is a level of detailing you would get to, you know, after this is all taken care of and built out, but you can really get detailed on these parks. We'll come back to this, but that's a good start for now. Green garden. Boy, are they swarming that. Well, this is about perfect. Money is coming in. Buildings are leveling up, and it's time to open up some more land. Now, I have a few choices here. Let's take a look at the areas. We're going to eventually go out this way because we want to open up the ocean. We're going to bring in some ships. We're going to bring in some transportation, the ferries. This big plot over here is important because we need this spot to open up the oil field right here. It's a big oil field we're going to open up there. However, the first spot I think we should open up is this area north of town here, this one. And that's because that's where the railroad, trains are coming in, and we need to rework the freeway coming into town and open up that forestry and move the heavy industry up into this section so we can build the city out a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. 5,500. There's some ore up there, lots of farmland and forestry. And lots of access. So 5,500. We got 20K. Let's do it. Okay. And I don't know if you see that, but the minute you open up a tile, you open up other possibilities for tiles. We're not going that way. We're going down here. All right. So let's see what we have here. So as you can see, here's the train. We'll bring that in. We can't do that quite yet. And also this big farm out here. We can make a huge farm out here, and that's what we're going to do. And we'll probably move a big chunk of the heavy industry out here. We'll move most of this over to here. And of course, one thing that's going to mean is we're going to need to lay in more freeway. Now, this will be tricky because we've got the train coming through here. And eventually what we want the freeway to do, and the train both, is kind of slide in between here. Let's go into the resource panel so we can just take a look at what's going on. Okay, so there's this big chunk of farmland here. We're going to mine this ore. Once the ore is gone, we can turn this into some really fancy residential areas, high density stuff. But we kind of want the train and the freeway to slide right through here next to the farm, but not into the oil field, because we want to take people kind of around that section over there and build up our tourism hotel beach area. So that's kind of a long way off, but that's eventually the plan. And we'll run that kind of through this area. But what has to be decided is I think we're going to change the freeway so that it kind of winds around this way and crosses here. We may bring it down here even, where we don't have to go so far. That might actually look better, and it'll be a better design. It's just take it more down towards the ocean before we make the crossing. I don't know if that's the best spot to cross. So we'll have to redo the freeway this way. Let's go over and check out the fishing. We're going to expand that out. And I think the first thing we want to do is get the fish market in. You bring in the fish, you got to have a place to sell it. That's a fish market. Eventually move this anyway, but it's definitely got a chunk out of the hillside here. And the way I deal with that is I'll go in with some trees. That can make a big difference. You can also do some actual terraforming if you want to get into that. And that could be a lot of fun. Let's see here. Which ones do I want to use? I like these. The Chinese wind palm. These look good. No need to be shy about these either, by the way. Go ahead and put them in. And you can also use the other one. Just the regular palm tree. These are good too. And if you just fill this in a little bit, it doesn't look quite so bad. It's more natural. It doesn't really cost a lot to put these in. Yeah, just a mess. Oh, we got ourselves a fish market. And the other thing I think we want to do is just take a quick look at the industry, because at some point we'll be able to level this up. Here's the fishing harbor. We got that. Here's the fish factory. We should probably put that in at some point. And we've almost, here's salmon. We still, we got about 70,000 more tons of fish that we need to catch before that'll unlock. And anchovies. What we really want though is the tuna. We gotta get to 2 million before you get that one. So we'll be doing a lot of fishing between now and then to make that work. I think what we're gonna do is just pull the road down just a hair. Once we open up the land area where the ocean is, just up here a little ways, then we'll be moving most of this anyway. But let's get it working for us, because it does bring in some great revenue and it does bring in more people. So here's the fish factory, 25K. It's a little bit of pollution, but mostly it's the freight trucks. There's going to be more truck traffic going on here. We'll solve that here in a little bit once we expand the freeway. There we go. Now, that's going to give the lack of resources thing for a little while until you catch some more fish. And there is a bit of a competition between the fish market and the fish factory, but eventually that'll all even out. Let's tow some water down there. Not too far. There we go. And let's fix the power. I guess we don't even need this line. So let's take it off. There we go. Okay. Fishing industry is humming. This thing will just click away for a while. It'll generate revenue, it'll bring in more people, and then eventually at some point these specialized fishing docks will be available. We'll put those in. I'm not sure if you noticed, I'm still running this at high speed because we just need the money. Every week we're generating between $1,200 and $2,500, and so we're just piling that up as quickly as we can as we expand the city. These things cost money. Does say we need more residential. I just want to be careful about doing that until we start pushing all of this way. And I don't want to do that too much until we get the freeway going. Well, we have a nice pile of cash, so I'm going to slow down the game a little bit here. And let's build ourselves a biofuel bus line. Now let's go here and see what we got. Here it is, the biofuel bus depot. It's kind of expensive, $40K, and I don't want this like on a main road. In fact, I think what we're going to do is put it right out here by the cemetery, because you will get buses going in and out of here, especially when you first set up a line. Okay, now let's do that. We're going to set up a couple bus lines, at least probably 2. And the first thing we want to do is go through the neighborhood, pick everybody up, and take them to work. So let's start our new bus line. How about here at the park? Let's do that. Run the line, make some stops. And we're not going to go into the fish market. Well, maybe we will. Sure. We'll make this the stop right here. They can turn around. And then we'll go up here into the industrial forestry area. Probably just have one stop here. There we go. And then we'll do a little run here through the heavy industry area. I feel like we've neglected this little section here, so let's go like this. Actually, I don't like this at all. We're going to change this. I don't like it. That's the fun part, right? like this? Do you want to delete? Yep. Okay, let's try this again. So what we're going to do is make our little city park here the hub. And so we'll start the new line, the bus. Yeah, let's go right here. Kind of right by the park and right by the school. Okay, so we'll just take it up here. Other park. Go down here to this corner. Pick up those people. Make a stop here. Then we're going to take them into the industrial area. We'll stop at this little store here. That's why I always put a little retail in, a little commercial. It's a good, great place for a bus to stop. Same thing down here. There we go. This way. And actually, we'll do a second bus line in that direction. So then, yeah, here's how we're going to get this thing back. Take it over here. So when you do your return bus line, a lot of times it's good just to put stops across the street from each other. There, here, go down here. Okay, except here at the end, I'm going to go a different way. I'm going to go way over this way and complete the line. Here we go. Now, immediately go back over to your biofuel bus depot. Here they come. And for whatever reason, the robots will send so many buses. Okay? Looks like this time we only have 2, so that's pretty good. Nope. 3 of 8. Okay, so we're going to take this down a little bit. We don't need this many buses initially. So I think we'll take it down to 4. Yeah, let's go with 4. Let's see how that works. 50% for right now. If I like that color. Let's see what we can do about that. Let's just get in here. I don't know. What do I let's do some green ones, right? They're biofuel. How about that? Okay. And there they go. It'll take them a couple times around the city before they'll even out a little bit. You'll see them kind of clog each other up a little bit. And they will do some strange little maneuvers. Like they don't exactly follow the route completely until they get situated. Ah, look at that. A shaken. So yummy. Almost want to go down there and get something to eat, huh? Do they have a drive up? Oh yeah, okay. Let's go see what we can get. Let's see, what do I want here? Probably just a chocolate milkshake. Okay, cool. Look at this, people are already lining up for the bus stop. You know what's amazing is the number of people who do calisthenics while they're waiting for the bus. Calisthenics and tying their shoes. Already got people waiting at the bus stops, ready to go. This is perfect. Obviously needed some public transportation. It'll make a big difference. Alright, so what do you think? Should we set one more up? I think we need one more bus line. Kind of similar. Maybe go in the other direction over to the fishing area. Okay, so let's get in here and do that. See how the bus line starts right there for those people? Well, this time we're going to put this one right there. Okay. And this one's going to be a little shorter, obviously. And this is the one we're going to have stop here at the fish market. Okay. People can use the bus to connect. And let's see, let's do one not quite there in front of the fire station. We're going to have one right there by the sawmill. Okay, someone's going to work there. Actually, we'll probably move that here and put it down to the office section. Going to be kind of our commercial area, so let's bring this bus down here in case people want to do that. I'm just going to finish this line, but we are going to go back in here and make a little change. I want to show you how to do that. Here. Okay, so let's say you're not exactly happy where this stop is. What you do is just position your cursor right over that, and then hold your mouse button or your key down. Then you can just drag it to where you want, which I want to go right there because that's actually the office of the forestry. There we go. Okay, see, moved it, no problem. Looks clean. And we got another bus line. You can also add stops the same way. And so it's just a question of where you want to add them. So let's try that. So same thing, I'm going to put on this empty spot of the line, of the blue line. And then I'm going to press, and instead I'm going to drag it right over here. There we go. Okay. And yep, that's doing, I wanted it to come up this way, and I'm going to add another stop. I don't know if you can see where these guys are. I think what we're going to do is add it right down here a little bit. Right on top of them. Although I could do that. It kind of saves space. You can have, 2 or 3 or as many bus lines as you want at a particular bus stop. That's not a problem. And they're trucking through here. Should we make a little stop in the neighborhood here? What do you think? I don't know if it's really needed. You can just walk up a little ways. Okay, I think that's good for now. I don't think we need to go too much further than that. Perfect, we got a bus line. Excellent. Basic, pretty oh, we better do one thing before we go much further. Let's get in there in this. So for the blue line, same thing, even fewer maybe. Let's get down to just 2. I don't think you're gonna need any more than 2 for that. Maybe 3, sure. Okay. All right, that takes care of our transportation. 34,000. Gonna need some more cash. And definitely more residential. This city's ready to pop. We've been piling up money here at Silver Shores, and as I've said, the city's gonna look completely different in just a episode or 2. We're gonna be pulling up the freeway. We have access to rail. We're gonna bring that in. We're going to move the heavy industry over here, and we're going to develop this huge farmland that we've got over here. This is going to be a huge, very fertile farmland over here. It's going to bring in a lot of money. It's going to feed a lot of people. It's going to create a lot of jobs. And the place we've decided to bring in the freeway is right through here. For a couple reasons, we want to get some good transportation access to our forestry industry. And we're also going to be moving some of our residential up into this area, and so we want to finish the freeway before we do that. And then this down here is going to be where we're going to get into the city government building section before we go across the river. Heading out there. All right. So let's take a look. After a little bit of debate, we kind of came to the conclusion the best thing we should do is a clover leaf that perhaps we'll modify a little bit later. And I think we decided maybe it needs to kind of go over here and slightly at an angle, because that right there is where the freeway's going through. Okay, kind of like that. Okay. It's tricky though, because once, just like in a real city, once the freeway goes in, it changes the entire character of the place. Freeways can be a bad thing sometimes. Creates kind of a segregated city, two different. How about? Yeah, let's try right there. All right, there we go. Okay. So at this point, we're going to stop the game real quick because we're going to go in and have to blow out like most of those cars. And looks like there's a break in the freeway here. Yeah, okay. So pretty much everybody's out of the way. And what I'm going to do is kind of a little disruption here. Yeah, we're going to break this off here. And I like to go way back, just, you know, not too far, but really take it back a ways. So you can get the feel of it right. And I think that's pretty close. Okay. Now, in this case, we want to go up here to highways. And I believe it's this one. Actually, this might be bigger. Let's see. Yeah, that's bigger. I don't know quite yet. We'll upgrade to that level. Let's go back here. All right. Now, highways generally are one way, and you can switch that later. I like to do freeform when. Let's see here if I can do this. Okay. Yeah, freeform here. And I just feel like it's easier in most cases. Sometimes you want to go straight, but freeways generally have a flow around a particular community or in a particular direction, and everyone's going really fast. So it needs to be kind of a flow. So I generally do freeform and take it out a little bit. And eventually what you're trying to do is hook up with that. And yep, there's our guide. And I guess I'll bring it to there. Okay. And then from here we're just going to go straight. And boom. Okay. And notice I did the inside track first. That's usually the best way. When you're doing a curve or any other thing, do the inside first and then guide off that. I've just found that to work the best. Just so you don't have to come back and break something. Okay, there's our next point. And then we go up here. Okay, except one thing I gotta do, and that is change directions. Okay. You could go the other way. Sometimes it's easier for me to go forward than backwards. It's probably because I'm on console, but when I use a mouse, it's basically the same thing. Okay. Now we're going to change this as well and hook this up to this section here. We may end up tearing this apart and doing something different, but for right now, I think we'll just take this back to here and do a bit of a tight curve here. It's a little tighter than I like, but I think we can kind of really get in there. It's going to be really tight. I should probably take this back one more. What do you think? Just to... We'll see how fancy this will come out as. It's kind of coming out. That's too far. There. Okay. Again, do the inside one first. just want to get out far enough so you're not clipping your inside track when you finally do it. Let's pull back here a little bit. Alright, it's not perfect, but in the end this is probably going to get redone as well as we pull this down here for the government section once we move this section of heavy industry to another part of town. And change direction. There. Now, these two parts of the highway here, we're just going to close these off for now. It's not really a big deal. I think we can get across here. Yeah, that'll work. We'll be coming back to this. Okay. Alright. What do you think? Okay, so brand new entrance to the city. And what's eventually going to happen is we're probably going to bridge over here. We could also, you know, I like to leave the railroad free, you know, the rail, the trains, the heavy, because we're going to be running a lot of cargo through here. And the rail will cross roads, but you will get traffic congestion. So I will only occasionally do that in heavy industry areas. It's not something to do regularly. If you can bridge over rail, do that. Much more efficient. Okay, let's get some more cash on here. Can run our, let's see how quickly everybody adjusts. Look at this, they're all still, you know, until the robots figure it out, they'll just keep going down the way they were taught. Okay, those guys figured it out. Look at that, it doesn't take long though. You know, the artificial intelligence is smart. It will pull it off. There it goes. Yep, everyone's all settled into the new traffic pattern right there here at Silver Shores. And we'll just bring that through here when the time comes. What this does let us do, though, is open up a little more residential, and that pretty much was part of the goal here. So let's get back to our roads. And we're just going to stick with this for now. Because at some point, we'll be switching this out once we get into high density. Okay. And we like to do these little stretches of new development close to our services. Here's our police, our fire, our medical. We got a little retail. We're going to put some more commercial in. In fact, I think we just throw that in right now because this is definitely needed. Remember, I always use select. And there we go. A little more commercial here. Mid part of town. Now, as you notice, our fish market over here and our fish factory are always a little behind when it comes to inputs in the supply chain. That's okay for right now. We only got one dock out here, and we will be putting another one in. We're just doing some other development first. If your industries are doing that, it just means they're not producing as much money as they actually could. They're running under capacity. It might be costing you a little more money than you want to pay. But that's okay for right now. We're just trying to pile up things, pile up cash, get things ready. We're going to do a big expansion here in just a minute. Let's leave one square open. Okay. This isn't the most, you know, ritzy part of town. And let's see how far we're going to go over here. I think here is good. Let's go back here a little ways. I don't know that this part of the forestry industry is going to stay there, but for now, we'll see what the noise, just to give you an idea what that looks like. Let's go into views here. And it's down here where the headphones are. There you go. Yeah, see, this is pretty noisy. If we were to put some residential in here, this might just be a little section of commercial over here. Residential, this will be really loud for them. Although these people are handling it okay. I'm sure it's not the best. And as you notice, the other part of the forestry industry where we grow all the trees do not produce any noise. So you're free to build up right next to those. No problem. They kind of look nice too. So, alright, let's keep going. Getting ready to do a major expansion here at Silver Shores. Alright, that looks good. Alright. So we're trying to get to 4,000. So it's 1,700 or so to get there. We'll bring another bus line in, I suppose, just to service that area, perhaps. Then at some point we can figure out how we're going to move people back and forth. It's probably going to be by rail. We might expand the bus line over there. Maybe we'll bring in another mode of transportation as those open up. There's really a lot of choices over there if you look. You've got trolleys and trams, metro, ferries are going to come into the game here, taxis, monorails, cable cars. Cable cars are fun. Okay. Let's see how many more little units we can put over here. If we pull this over here a little more. There we go. And I think get one more in. Let's pull this down. Whoop, not that far. Okay, right there. And I'm probably not going to go that far. Oh, is it going to let me? Okay, good. Got it. Okay, then let's go back, take this off, get a little refund. There we go. There we go. Nice and clean. Okay. Now again, it's got about 1,600 more to go to level up. 42,000. I'd like to have a little more cash. Let's take a walk over back to our park. Now there's one thing I wanted to add in here. It's pretty much the reason I made the park over here to begin with. Now you got to get into your inspector real quick here. Click on the name of the park. Now I've got $10, but honestly, I think we're going to reduce this to 0. There might be. Oh, okay, you can't do that. But there is a place in your policies. Now here's what I was trying to get to. Celebrate. Look here. Fireworks show in the park every night. They're organized daily after sunset instead of every week. So we want fireworks all the time. Let's see. Main park, no. Animal ethics. Even more fun. Amusement park buildings. We're probably not going to use those here. It's just too small. And yeah, we'll just go with that. If you actually want to capture all the money that you would get from the park, what you got to do is fence them in. And so we could do that. We could put up a little fence. That way everybody has to pay. I mean, let's see here. Okay, so there's a lot of different fences to choose from. We'll just keep going with this one for the city park. And I'm going to leave a little space on this side. Oh, I almost forgot. I like to, again, free form. That's my way to do fences. I think it just makes for a nicer sort of look here. And then I'm going to curve around here a little bit. And I'm going to take it over here to the hedge that we already built. Kind of like right there. There we go. And then we'll come over to this side. Okay, well, I gotta be careful of the playground. There we go. We'll kind of. Now, if I really want to be stingy about it, I can put another gate over there, perhaps. What do you think? Just to make sure everybody's paying their fair share here in town. Oops, let's do this. There we go. Now, over there. Okay. fenced in. Everyone should be paying at this point. We've got this over here, and I guess what we'll have to do is add in one of these smaller gates. There's the small main gate and the side gates. Let's see what that looks like. This will be placed roadside. Okay, let's see if we can go over just a little bit here. Might be a little difficult because of that curve. How about right there? Space already occupied. Okay. Oh, and not in park area. So here's how we're going to fix that. Let's go back to this. And it's actually really easy to fix. We're just going to go here and just bring this over a little to include that space. There we go. Now I can put my gate in and start charging money. Robots. Alright, I had to take out a little bit of fencing to make it work, but that's okay. We did find a spot. It's just a little closer down here to the school. That's okay. Alright, there's our side gate, and then what we're going to do is just bring in a little more fencing. What it was before. Close this off a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then this we're going to bring over just a hair. Kind of like that. Oops, that was a little too far. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is start on the other side. I'm going to start back here by the hedge. I got to wind around the playground. Although maybe I should just leave it open. The kids can come in, huh? Nah, kids, go get some money from your parents. Okay, and then... Actually, I'm probably going to run into a problem here with the path. If so, we'll come back to that. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, that'll work. Watch, we'll just come back and we'll fix this. Don't worry. Don't get upset. It's all right. It's going to be okay. There. See? Although that's not the best, we could probably do better there. Well, I gotta... Because I gotta curve around. Can't just be in the playground. Let's see if I can make this work a little nicer. No, that's probably it. Maybe just straight? Yeah, I like that better. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's raise the price to get into the park. What do you say? Let's really make some cash here. No, not that one. There we go. Can we raise it more? Let's go up to 20 bucks. Hell yeah. We're showing fireworks at night. 20 bucks. There we go. Okay, we've got a nice little chunk of money, 66,000. I think it's time to start building out our little residential area, just basically because we need the money. And as you can see, if you look down at our status, bottom right corner there, we got enough industry, although they could use some more employees. We're going to build out a little more commercial over in this section, and we're also going to put in a lot of new residences. Okay, and I'm not really going to, care where they land as far as what type of building. We're going to get a little bit of a mix in this section. So let's go ahead and pause the game and do some zoning. Of course, after, and be ready to drop in some more wind turbines here. We're gonna peek out on the electricity. So let's see what we can do here. The water. Let's just grab right here. Bring this over. Take it all the way over to here. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm trying to separate out where people are getting water from. into its own little loop here. I don't really want to share that. Also, whoops, did you catch that? Yeah, we're borderline sewage here, and we do have enough to drop in. Again, green cities. Eco inland water treatment plant, that's what we want to use. And we're going to do right across the street from our original eco water treatment plant. It's a way to say sewage where it's not like sewage. And we're going to hook that up like that. Again, we'll be moving a lot of this, although I think the sewage treatment plants are still going to be over here. We'll probably move them further over to this part of town, however, eventually. Okay, you want to do your water and sewage, and as you see, this is, and the way we figured this out, by the way, is, I don't know if you caught that earlier. Oh, no, not that one. Well, here. Okay, see how the water's flowing that direction? So you want to get your water here and do your water treatment way down there. And right now, and that's normal in the city when you start out, that could be close together, but eventually you want to move in that direction. We'll come back to that part. Well, as you can see, we're short employees. That's why I got all this going on. So we need to do some building here really quickly just to get some more people in here. The first thing we're going to do is go in and create a little bit of commercial back here because there's just not a way to do housing right next to this, although those people over there didn't seem to mind. But let's clean this up a little bit. Just try and do, we'll do half and half. Okay, there's some commercial. Now it's going to be all residential. And we're literally just going to zap it in here. It's really going to add a chunk. We're trying to push to that 4,000 mark, remember. So we're just going to zone it all in. And like I said, we'll probably drop a wind turbine over there. Just we know it's going to overload the system right away. And so let's just get it in there before we do that. We have enough cash. Okay. And again, the reason we're doing it here is it puts us right in the middle of all the services we're going to need, the fire. And then what else do we need here? Of course, we're going to need a park and we're going to need a school. So let's drop that in before we get this all going. Yep, let's do that one again. And I think we'll pretty much want it right here. That covers all the areas. And then let's drop in a small park as well. And what happens when you do this, when you do your little micro builds for neighborhoods, and you drop in the services right away, the buildings, you know, they render and then they level right up. So you immediately start to see the boost in the taxable value of the land. Immediately. Okay, we got the playground right across the street here. See how much land that cut? Look at that. See, so you're boosting up property values everywhere. Let me show you another fun one. Okay, just for kicks, just because it's fun, right? Just because we're having a little fun here. Let's go through and see what else we got. Small park, large park. That one's too big, but the dog park. Okay, the dog park is huge. It makes everybody's land values go up. I'll show you a really good place to put it right here. Okay, that covers everybody. Lots of access. And then we're gonna add a path right here. And let's do freeform. It's my fave. Come out to about right there. Then not too close. There. So now this neighborhood's connected. We got a school, we got parks. Any more zoning to do here? I'm thinking maybe a little commercial, like right here. There's a place. Put that in. And we got that little patch back there. Okay. Remember, we're trying to get to 4,000, so I don't think it's going to hurt to put this in there. Let's leave a little space in case we want to do the... Oops, I made a huge mistake here. Whoa, back up. I don't want this all commercial. No, 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 no. No, 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 we want it all residential. There we go. There. Okay. Okay. What do you think? All right, we ready to go? We ready to see this thing take off? Here at Silver Shores? It's about that time. And go. Alright, I don't know if you can hear all the buildings leveling up because of all the parks and services we just dropped in here for this new development. We got a little traffic. Probably going back to fill up some stuff in the stores. We'll see people moving in here very quickly. Alright, so there we go. Whole new residential section forming up there. Hopefully this cures our employee problem. Got new freeway access. Just trying to get to 4,000. Oh yeah, look at the dynamic change here. And hopefully that's going to take care of some of these abandoned buildings over here in the heavy industry section. Which, yep, there they go, see? You know, the minute you cure the problem, the robots know what to do. They know where to apply. They know where to get a job. So people are waiting for the bus. Here it comes. All right, outstanding. Lots of nice balanced flow, including sewage flow. Okay, watch our population go up there, cresting 2,500. And sure enough, we're going to need another wind turbine. Let's get it in there. Oh, actually, you know what? I think we've got the cash. All right, so let's use an advanced wind turbine. These go in the water, and look at the difference. Normally, they top out at around 8. This one's 18. There are places where they will get up to 20. Let's see what's out here. 17, 19, out here 20. You know, we could take it down here, but I know eventually I'll have to move it. Let's see what we get back up in here. This is all going to be 17. I'm kind of greedy. Yeah, let's go back over here and get it in here. Put it right on the edge. Is it worth it? Okay, okay. I'm not going to be greedy. Not going to be greedy. If we put it right here, we'll get 18. Doesn't really get in the way, and it'll immediately add to what's happening power-wise. There you go, 65 megawatts. We currently need 51. Let's go back over here. That gives us plenty of room to add in some more of our residential units. All the commercial filled in. We could use a little more. Let's head over to our commercial district and drop some of that in. There we go. A little more here, a little more there. That's how you do the city. That's how you make a really good one. You just do a little more here and a little more there. It's kind of like the Little Red Hen, if you've ever read that book. 2,700 here at Silver Shores. We may have to add a completely new neighborhood section over there. One thing I think we should do is drop in the new industrial section. That's going to be over here, which means we got to build in the bridge. I think we're ready to do that. And let's take a look at what's involved here. I want to get up here to the 3-laner. Okay. Leave ourselves a little room to connect. Right there. Down just a little, try and line it up, get it real straight. This one's at an angle. Oh, there we go. I think I'll take that. I'll take it. There we go. And then we're going to go over here. Oh, here's why. Duh. Let's ace that. So when you're doing these first ones, you want to use straight. That's why I was getting a little squirrely on me. So let's take it back again. And let's see here. I'm trying to get right in the middle of those two guidelines. It's a little tricky. Gotta kind of be good with the mouse or the controller, whichever one you got. Oh, here we go. Right there is good. And see how much easier when it's straight? Boom. Once you got the initial one, then you can pull it out, pull it down a little bit more. And for right now, maybe we'll change it later, but for right now, what we're going to do is come straight off of there and do our first bridge. Now, apparently we have choices here when it comes to bridges. Remember, we put in the new DLC on that. Let's see what we've got. Boom, bridges. Okay, American 2-lane truss bridge, the 4-lane truss bridge, the American 6-lane stone bridge, European 2-lane, European 4-lane, European 6-lane, 3-way high. Okay, yeah, we're not doing that one. I'm going to go with the American 6-lane. Let's see what we get here. Okay, here we go. Now, when I do my bridges, I tend to take it a lot further than you may need to, but I don't go too far. See how the bridge disappears if you go too far? I like to keep it right where it's still visible. That tends to make for a nice, clean, I don't know, what do you think about these new bridges here? This is the new DLC that's part of the game. It looks pretty sweet. That's a nice little detail. Nice little detail. It's the Pleasant Bridge. Isn't that nice? That makes me feel much better. All right, let's hook it up. Let's hook up our new roadway here. And what we're going to do is go back down here to the 3-ways. Go the 1-way, and let's pull it back here. Let's pull it out a little bit. Oops, sorry. You know what? I screwed up. I think we're on freeway. There we go. And go way over here. That one. Then freeform. Okay. And then I know I'm gonna have to go back and make this other direction, but that's okay. I like the way it works better that way. See? Nice and clean. And then you just go back and change the direction. Okay. How's that? And I think at this point too, I'm going to take this little chunk out. I don't really want people doing that. They can turn around there. Okay. Alright, so we've got access new to this new industrial area. And let's extend the road. And I'm just going to go straight this time. I'm not going to go too far. That's good. And remember, if we look at, this is important. Let's go to our areas here. We're going this way. We're trying to get way out here. So we need to save our tiles. We are going to open up this one to get the ocean access. However, probably not going to be opening up this one. Whoops, sorry. Oh, no, not that. There. We're not going to open up this one here. That one's not going to happen. So, what does that mean? That means where this line is, we're going to put some industry over here. That's probably all. Like, we're not going to mess with the train between here and the bridge. We'll probably zoom it off. You know what's cool about this? I don't know if we can actually do it. We can probably put another sideline in here for stations and also for transport, and then build the bridge over it. That fit perfect. Oh, there goes one now. Okay. So yeah, eventually we're going to zone out that industry area over there and move it over here. So to do that, we need to be careful. This is going to be a farm. nice agricultural area. And so at some point we're going to have to get this. I think I already know what I want to do. Take our road and right along here. I'm going to take it a little further. Let's go right. Okay. Now, of course, the decision is how do we want to hook it up? I think we're just going to freeform it across the way here. And I don't really want to do it right after the bridge. Let's try and go up here a little bit. Pull it out just a hair. And that'll work. There we go. It's not exactly perfect. Let's try that again. That might be a little cleaner. Much better that time, okay? All right. Now the one thing to keep in mind here is, we don't really have a heavy-duty power plant yet. We're still relying on wind turbines to power up the whole city. And so when we move some heavy industry out there, it's going to need its own power source, and we're probably going to need to put some sewage out there as well. And water, and that means wells with towers. So we'll be putting that infrastructure in, which is why we're running on high speed. We got to pile up the cash. But let's take a look at where we're at here. Here's what we want to get to, geothermal plant. And we still have a ways to go. We're 3150. We got to get up to 4,000 before we can put one of those in. And of course water, that's not quite as tough. 3,500 for a water tower. Put another sewage system out there. But that's okay, because we're going to have a lot of activity out there. Going to be a couple more neighborhoods. We're going to have a big farm, a big one, probably some unique factories. So these are all things we have to consider as we grow our way out that direction. Okay. And don't forget, we want to make sure we leave room for the railroad to come through here, for the trains. They're basically going to be splitting off and following the highway this direction as it heads out to the beach, and there'll probably be another section that goes this way out to some of the industry and agricultural that'll be on this side, and to the city center for a little bit of passenger service there. Uh-oh, we got a fire. All right, where's the fire department on this one? Boy, they fight that fire fast on high speed, don't they? Well, our neighborhood filled out nicely, and what does that tell us? It's going to need to be a little bigger, or we're going to have to add another section to it. And I don't know that I want to do that too much right in that specific spot. We got to get the freeway through here. This is going to be also more forestry industry, and we may bring a cargo line down here for the train to service that. So we need to just kind of let this mature a little bit before we do any more building in that area. We need to get up to at least 4,000 or higher to get up to the high density. Let's see if that kicks in here. No, see, that's up at the next level here, 6,000. Yeah, high density right there. So we have a ways to go before we get up to that level. That's probably an episode away before we get high density, which that means we got to add in another neighborhood here somewhere. It can't be over here even after we move, because this is where all of the heavy industry has been. If you move people in here, they're going to choke. You're going to choke on all that pollution. So what can we do? Well, I think we kind of want to leave this open a little bit. Let's see where we are with the unique buildings. Can we start to build that out and add that in? I usually wait to do City Hall and the others for the government section until we get up to high density, because that's when I start to bring in the European buildings. So that I think we're going to hold off on until we get to 6,000. So where else can we add some more people? That's a big question. I think we probably should just go right out here and start building up this area. After doing the survey, I think what we've decided is we'll do the heavy industrial area down here, because eventually at some point there'll be a cargo transport area down here. Maybe even a cargo airport, we'll see. And some unique factories. A lot of this is going to be developed as... There will be some residential, but mostly it's going to be agricultural, some unique factories, heavy industry. This down here, though, would make some excellent residential area up on the hillside here. And so what we need to do to make this work first is find a really good spot to drop in a water tower. Everybody needs water. And so let's see here. At some point we'll do a big one. Right now we've got this. There's a small difference. You got to get up to 14,000 before you can make the big one. So let's just drop this in. It's got a little bit of a noise factor, so we don't really want that. And don't put it too deep into the trees here. In fact, we're going to have it off a little bit because we want to draw a line down to the agricultural area as well. These water towers will pump a lot of water. See, 60,000 a week. So yeah, that's a lot. Okay. And then nearby, we're going to drop in a wind turbine. Okay, that's going to produce the power we need up in this area for now. And so we might as well just put it right next to each other. There we go. And then what we're going to do is take this road up and develop our kind of hillside residential area. Now there's two ways we can go about doing this, and this over here is going to do some residential as well. We can go up the hill, or we can go to the side and then spin that off to some smaller roads, because there's going to be schools and services. We need police, we need fire, all those different services on this side of the tracks. Okay. Whoa! Huge fire going on here. Now these are tricky. The fire department will come in and put out the fires on the factory, but there's no road back here, so we can't do anything about the forest fire that's going on. Those are tricky. There is one way to deal with these kind of fires, and that's with the helicopter firefighters, which I don't believe we have access to that yet, do we? No, that comes later, right here. Fire helicopter depot, 4,000. Okay, this is why we're trying to get to 4,000. So many things open up there. All right, let's see if we can push using this. So anyway, we can go up the hill or off to the side. I'm thinking let's go to the side and make sort of parallel. So we want freeform, very good. And what we're going to do is pull it up a little bit, but then we're going to go like this and bring that out to about right there. Okay. All right. Now on the hillside, what we'll do is I'm going to bring it down to these, the small, more neighborhood roads. And I think what we want to do is start here and give ourselves plenty of room to zone it out. Remember, the city doesn't go past that boundary at this end, so. And I think I want to switch this to straight. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. Pull this straight down. We're just going to follow the line of the city boundary. And yeah, this is where we need to bring this up. Just a hair more. Just a hair, not much. That's probably good. Okay. Perfect. And then we could leave that, but take that off. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's not perfectly straight, but that's okay. Not going to drive myself crazy with that one. It's going to be kind of a flow anyway when we get up here. I'm going to switch it to freeform. And just a hair. Yeah. Turn it like that. and bring it down this way. I'm cutting into the farmland just a little bit, not too much. There we go. Okay, and then on this side, I can do a little bit of residential on this side, not a whole lot. Now, notice we're not going to use that industry intersection over there. I don't want to get over there. I don't want to get too close to the rail line. I'm just going to bring this around. Kind of connect that. That's probably too far. I want to make sure my zoning is cool. There, that's perfect. Okay. So we got a nice little loop here. Should we do something down the middle? I don't want to waste all this space, right? I know some people think I waste a lot of space. Let's hook it on right. Actually, let's go this way. Okay. And go like that. And then down to... Can we get in there? There. Alright. Okay. How about a cross street? Should we do one cross street here? I think. It's good to have that kind of connectivity. When you talk about schools or services or anything else. And I feel like we should have one over here as well. Let's get a few little extra parcels here. Right? What do you think? Okay. Alright, next up, let's drop a school in. Okay. Gonna need that. And we may need two, because of where we're at. Let's put this one right, sort of, let's see. So we're going to need a park. Okay, let's put one there. And then up here we may actually need two, because it's so big. Let's do one here. And then we'll throw one down here. Although we're still got that, it's not quite covered there. That's better. Huh. It's really strange it didn't, I guess because it's just, oh, how about that? Is that where it has to be? Oh, there we go. There it is. That's kind of up. How about the other side, maybe? Just trying to get the whole place covered. And yeah, it's got to go down here. Okay, there's that. And let's throw some playgrounds. Small playgrounds in here. Go with one. Actually, we'll do this side. Let's see if we can. That's good. And then put one up here. And then we're gonna need one down here. I left one here because kids love watching trains, right? Okay. And should we go for another dog park? Everyone seems to like the dog parks. Where is that gonna go? Kind of want access for everybody to that. Let's roll with that one. Okay. And let's get our water hooked up for everybody. Down here. Now, actually, I think what I'm going to do is start this. Let's go this direction here. And what we're going to do is kind of follow the boundary of the city down. All the way. Eventually, when we get the industrial section going, we'll set up a separate water line for that from the tower. But for this sort of residential section now, we're good. Close the loop there. And then we still have to bring it up a little bit. So we'll start back down here to form the really good loop with lots of connectivity. I think we'll go there. Oops, already occupied. Okay, let's try that. There. And let's go across just for kicks. There. Now we're going to need a sewage treatment plant. Where are we going to put that? Well, it needs to go on the other side, sort of. We're just going to do a small road here, basically. Another inland eco water plant. It's just going to go right there. And as you can see, we're getting all kinds of warnings about power and water. That's about to go away here in just a minute. And what we want to do is bring this over. Here. And just hook it right there. Okay. Notice how this one school has all the services? Yeah, we better drop in some very important services. And I think what we want to do when we do this is put our services, for instance, like the fire department. Okay. Let's see what our coverage is down here. And the reason we want to go down here, because at some point this is going to be needed by the industrial people. So let me show you a little trick to make sure they can go everywhere they need to go. Take this road here and just do a small, we don't want to go too far. In fact, we may want to do this. Yep, we got freeform. Okay. Go out just a bit and then take it down here. I don't want to lose our... Okay. Let's put it at the intersection, but without adding a road. That will give us the coverage we need. Okay, I'm willing to go for that. Okay, there's our fire. Let's get a police station in here. Okay. And we're going to need a medical as well. Alright, what other services do we need here? Well, I think one thing we should do just for fun is run a power line down to where our services are. And I'm just going to come from the side here and just drop straight down. One has to go across here to the sewage plant for that to start working. There we go. And then the other one, what we're going to do is just zone out that part. Okay, so what we're going to do is stop the game and start doing some zoning. Do this commercial here. All of that. Okay. And we want this to be commercial right here. And this. What do we think about that? I think we'll leave that as not commercial, but we can do this. Let's hold off on that and see how that develops. We might actually put residential in this section. Okay, everything else down here, I'm going to zone out for residential, right? Almost everything. Let's see what we get. We'll leave a little space there for our kids in school. Just do a 4 square there, leave a little space. We'll keep this one kind of down to 3. And then, like all this, like all that. This is what's going to put, you know, we're at 3694. This is what's going to push us over that 4,000 mark. In fact, I don't know if we have to actually let it all roll. We could just let part of it roll and save the rest for the next episode, because I have a feeling just this lower part is going to do most of it, right? And we're just going to add a little more commercial here, like on this corner. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. Now, in order for all the power and sewer to work all the way down, I got to add in just enough housing, Just enough residential. Go down here. There's that. We'll bring this all the way down. We're just trying to get the power to everything. Don't have to do any more power lines. Got that all in. And I guess we'll go the rest of the way down here to this park. Be interesting to see what pops in. Some of those smaller parcels. I think we'll save that one. Okay. Is that going to get it all covered? We're going to do a little commercial up here, right? Next to the water tower. I just don't think any houses are going to be very happy there. So, we'll drop in a little commercial because I don't want to deal with the noise. And maybe we'll put just a couple up here, a couple houses up here just to say we did. Okay. All right, let's take a little look here. Anywhere else we want to go? All right. Okay, let's let it rip and see what happens, huh? It just instantly starts popping up here. Let's see. Okay, here comes the commercial. Usually these start developing where all the services are. So if there's power and water and sewer, that's where the development will start and it'll kind of spread out. Okay. I think this is going to push us over the top when it comes to 4,000. The only thing we really didn't do that we could have done, and maybe we still will, is zone it out and give it a name. I don't really need to do that all the time, but it's something you can do, especially if you want to change the style of the building. We just kind of went with what the game is going to dole out, which is a little bit of everything. Okay. Okay, that's it for the power problems. That's it for the water problems. We got people moving in. 3770, we're closing in. Closing in on that 4,000 number. And that's going to open up a lot of new resources. So we continue to build our way out here at Silver Shores. Alright, get another... Let's see how we're doing here. Nope, yeah, we could use one more out here. So let's drop that in. Right. Okay, and then we'll just go in. It's close, but I'm still going to get it in there just in case. Okay, that took care of the power problem. Just one more turbine. And that's all right. Once we get to 4,000, I believe it is, we can get into the geothermal plants, and that makes a big, yeah. So we're going to be replacing all that anyway. All right, here we go at Silver Shores, 3852. Just a little bit of ways to go here. And we'll hit 4,000. It's looking pretty good here in our little hillside community. We may come up with a name for this later. We'll see. This is where a lot of our industrial workers and farm workers are going to be living. As the robots move in. Look, they're coming in quick. They like it out here. It's away from the city, the hustle and bustle, and that's good. We want to start drawing more people out to this section as we move the industrial section, open that up for the city center. Some of the more higher density. Okay. 3945. I can already hear all the buildings leveling up now. Because, see, look, the community's ready for expansion and leveling up when you do it this way. When you do your micro builds, if you put all the services in first, the schools, the police, the fire, the parks, as your buildings come in, they level up almost immediately. So you get that higher land value. 975, 5 more to go. We're about ready to hit, there we go, 4,000. And let's see what comes in here. The level 4 unique buildings, leisure and tourism opens up. Now that's good. Sightseeing bus tours, so we can start getting tourism in here. Now that's important because as the city grows and we go through the natural resources like oil and ore and start replacing that with tourism, having that base is important. It's how the city matures. All kinds of new roadways here at 4,000 and new buildings, bigger hospitals. The geothermal plant comes in, police headquarters. All of the beach tourism things open up, like fishing piers and marinas and restaurants, beach volleyballs. That's why we waited before we open up that ocean tile, because that's where that's all going to go. The ferry bus stop exchange, that can be kind of a little spot where everybody, that can be like kind of your transportation hub. Buses come in, ferries go out. Don't ask me how they accomplish that. And also the geothermal power plant. And look at this, the fish farm and the intelligence agency. Not sure if you know what that's for. Well, I really thought it was going to take a few more houses than what we got over here, but it filled out nicely. 4,000. Coming up next time, we'll start to open up this new industry area and get our farm going over here. This is going to be a huge agricultural section right over here, along with a couple unique factories, and we'll get into the city government section here at Silver Shores. This is 4 Cities. Four cities with 421.